Boo.
Hello, everybody. This is Murder Mystery Haunted History. We've been missing for a little bit. I am BB3. This is Nettie with Mel Nettie Living Free Zip Codeless. You all know Nettie, but there are some new people in here tonight. So if you haven't met Nettie, make sure you go into my description. You'll see Mel Nettie Living Free Zip Codeless, and you can click it and go subscribe. I'm a little bit. Go on.
With that said, we're doing the guest destination, meaning we're linking both of our live streams tonight with one another. And we also have BB linked in our About page of the live stream for y'all, if you don't have her on our side, to please check her out.
Thank you. So I took a little bit of a break. Anybody that doesn't know, Nettie and I used to do this for a year or two.
Yeah.
It was a really long time, and we did it. And there is Shaco. I missed you. Okay. But we do it every Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. But this is the return of it, so we'll be doing it from here on out. But I see so many older names and newer names. Shaco, I was really hoping you'd show up tonight. It's so good to see you. No blue eyeshadow, but that'll be coming soon. All right. And then over here on the TikTok side of things, real quick, guys, if you're watching this over here, you can go to my profile, click the link, and come join us, because we actually have a live chat going over here that you can come hang out and chat with everybody. I'm going to keep this live for about 5 minutes as the reminder, and then you guys will have to come join us over here for the rest of the show. So tonight we're covering what, Nettie?
It is Pennhurst Asylum, right?
Pennhurst Asylum.
Yeah, and it's something we put together like 6 months ago. So I had to research it again as far as get familiar with the story. So it has a little bit of twists and turns. Got some big words in it, BB. So it's back to how we were used to doing things. It's a good story. We appreciate y'all coming in and watching it with us. Yeah.
And I'm going to take just a minute because we have a full chat tonight, and I'm going to try to run through and welcome everybody really quick. And y'all know, everybody knows I don't word well, so, I'm going to try.
I don't either.
So we have Celexa Vlog, we have Raquel, we have Shane, we have Avisor, Elijah, Annie, Pack. I'm going to call you Pack. Mildred, I have missed you. Hello.
Aww.
We must have had Chrissy in here earlier. Hello, Chrissy. We have Gothica from the TikTok side of things. Hitch Up in Tow. We're going to get everybody to go subscribe to you, I promise. We have Tilt the Twix, Calming Relaxation. We have Katie Lynn, The Bridge Burner.
Yeah.
We have Char of Hearts.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm scrolling. We have Mr.
It goes quick because there's two chats that BB is looking at now, because she's looking at our chat and then also her chat. So
we have Mel.
Yay.
We have Miss Auntie Marmar in here. I think I said Gothica, but I'll say it again because I'm not sure. Thrifty Angela, I have missed you, beautiful. We have the real Robert Rockwell. We have Linda Barker. Hello, beautiful. We have Larice Jusset. Hello. We have Diane. RV, Ashes, and April. Hello. I already gave the welcome to Shaco, but hello, Shaco, again. We have John Steiny. Hello. CR View. Kimmy loves ya. I see you. Jen Joy. Hello. Joe Sanders. Alan.
Yep. And Alan is from Chrissy Mama, so that's awesome. So they're coming over from there.
All right. I think I got everybody, which means it is time to start the show.
Yeah.
Oh, Shaco said hi, Nettie. I haven't.
Hello. Yeah, I then forgot about me. I saw.
And you're right. You changed it. You want green eyeshadow instead of blue.
Okay.
Okay. Nettie and I will both wear some green eyeshadow one day for you. All right, let's get the show up here. All right, Nettie, you want to start it?
Sure.
Okay.
Pennhurst Asylum. Pennhurst Asylum was once known as the Pennhurst State School, or the Eastern Pennsylvania State Institution for the Feeble-Minded and Epileptic, a name that truly shows its age. It was built to house people with physical and mental disabilities in southeastern Pennsylvania. We've missed you too, Thrifty Angela.
Hello, Ivan. After 79 years of pure controversy, it's finally closed its doors on December 9th, 1987. You may be wondering what exactly happened at this infamous asylum to cause such drama and suffering over its almost century-long tenure. We're about to learn all the gritty details and find out what makes Pennhurst Asylum so haunted. Tommy travels.
Tommy travels.
I was just saying, I hoped you came in. So, hello.
Yeah. And Diane Phoenix, thank you for coming in. History. This place was huge. I didn't realize how big it was, BB. In 1903, a growing number of physically and mentally disabled people were in need of care and housing in Spring City, Pennsylvania region. The Pennsylvania legislature authorized the creation of the asylum that same year. Hello, James Cantonese. Thank you for coming in.
James, hello. More than 4,000 patients were in need of a proper care facility, and Pennhurst Asylum was intended to create a haven for those people and give them the specialized care they needed. It looks pretty. I mean, the architecture is absolutely incredible.
It's marvelous. 2 buildings were constructed. One was for the educational and the industrial departments. The other was for the custodial and asylum department. The institution was required to house no less than 500 patients or inmates, as they were called at a time. Tommy's laughing.
From 1903 until 1908, the first buildings were being constructed on the 634-acre property. Dining halls, kitchens, storerooms, cottages, teachers' homes, laundries, and power stations were also created alongside the main housing unit. The Pennhurst Asylum campus is massive, a small city all on its own with over 30 buildings.
Wow.
Wonderful architecture. Strangely oppressive vibe, though.
The buildings were designed by Philip H. Johnson, had 2 stories, and were made of terracotta, granite, and red brick. They were all connected with fireproof tunnels and walkways used for transporting residents from building to building.
Okay, give me 1 minute, everyone. I'm going to shut down the TikTok side of things. So anyone that is on the TikTok side of things and you want to come join us, go check my profile, go to the link. It'll bring you over here, but you can join in the chat. And you want to get to know all these great people, so come on over. Much love. Bye for now. All right. I feel like my brain's going in 10 million different directions, and I want to put some of your comments up on the screen. So it's a very pretty building, and it seems huge on the ground. Yeah. Almost like they're trying to hide some very special people from the public. I get it. I get it. Terracotta sounds like a desert. Is that desert or dessert? This definitely reminds me of the school dorms.
Oh.
Were you in school or did you get sent away somewhere hitch up in tow?
Uh, on November 23rd, 1908, patient number 1 was admitted to the hospital. Within 4 years, Pennhurst Asylum was overcrowded and under the pressure of the state to start admitting immigrants, orphans, and even criminals, as prisons were also being too full.
Wait a minute. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, South. And I used to say Selexia, and then I realized it's pronounced Salsha. So,
Oh,
Salsha, thank you for sharing this out. Yeah, I just learned that a few days ago, but I think it's beautiful. Salsha, right?
that is a beautiful name. This place sounds delicious. I've been on the grounds. My cousin works it with the tours.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you have Katie Lynn came in from TikTok, maybe.
Mhm. And then we have this is Tucker. And the reason her name is Tucker is
Uh-huh.
because I can't say her name.
Oh, okay.
It looks easy and all, but I can't ever figure out if it's Tanya or Tanya. And
Yeah.
so we've
I
just named her Tucker from Tanya Tucker.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
The architectural style reminds me of Waverly Hills in Kentucky, but Waverly is 4
Yeah.
stories tall. That's true. It does look like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And our Des was able to make it over here to
Oh,
YouTube.
Rhonda. Thank you for coming in, Rhonda. Hope you're doing well.
All right. So they started bringing in prisoners and put them with
Yeah.
mentally ill.
Isn't that crazy? Look at these buildings.
I know I talk about the architecture too
But
much, but seriously, look how beautiful this is.
how could you not talk about architecture when you see this? It is beautiful.
I can just like imagine walking down that sidewalk and the grandeur of everything,
Yeah.
'cause back then we weren't wearing sweatpants and whatnot, right? We were kind of dressed up.
Mm-hmm.
I say we like I'm that old, but like back in the day, women had to have their hair fixed and they had to have dress clothes on and stuff when they went out. And I can just imagine walking down that walkway with like a little umbrella, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
They are, aren't they, Jen? They're beautiful buildings. All right. Residents were admitted and classified into mental categories of imbecile or insane, into physical categories of epileptic or healthy, and into dental categories of good, poor, or treated teeth upon their arrival. Residents were then assigned a job such as shoemaking, farming, laundry, sewing, painting, or mattress making to name a few.
Wow.
So people had to pay to be there and then had to work on top of it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Hello, Shanna
Oh,
Craft.
Shanna.
If I were the warden, I'd be out there on a lawn chair with a cigar.
They're working. Hmm. Mental health misunderstood.
Old asylums were fancy words for free labor camps. Probably.
In 1913, the knowledge and awareness of mental health disorders was highly misunderstood. State legislature declared that disabled people were unfit for citizenship, and pose a menace to peace, and thus recommend a program for custodial care.
Furthermore, legislator desired preventing the intermixing of genes of those at the asylum and the general population. Pennhurst's chief physician quoted Henry H. Goddard, a eugenist, Gen-
Yeah,
eugen,
Eugene's something.
eugenist.
I tried to help, but I couldn't help.
So basically, they're saying they shouldn't intertwine and have children.
Yeah.
It's a lot of beds in one little area.
Mm-hmm.
Chip and toe. I mean, aren't we all?
Right. Every feeble minded person is a potential criminal. The general public, although more convinced today than ever before that it is a good thing to segregate the idiot or this distant imbecile, they have not as yet been convinced as to the proper treatment of the defective delinquent, which is the brighter and more dangerous individual, Henry H. Goddard. So that was his statement at the time.
I appreciate you guys attempting to help with the words. I
Yes.
probably will still stumble when I try to pronounce it the way that you guys are helping me, but I appreciate the help because sometimes it does help me get it.
Oh, Eugen assists. Okay. I couldn't get it either.
A heartbreaking and completely irrational statement. The treatment of patients, especially those who had more severe disabilities, were treated horrendously. Conditions at the asylum were finally exposed in 1968 when a local news station aired a 5-part report on Pennhurst Asylum. Shako, you are behaving really well tonight. I am so proud of you.
Behind closed doors. It's been 6 months, so he's doing good. Over 10,000 patients crossed through the doors into Pennhurst, residing in one of the many buildings in the school's network. Overwhelmed parents dropped off their children who were mentally retarded or autistic, hoping the school would provide for them. Phoebe's working on something, y'all. Oh, and she does have green fingernails. Right, Tommy Travels. Oh no, we can't hear you though, BB. It's muted you.
It's weird. It muted on the computer. We're just going to hold it. Oh, I am wearing green nails. You're right.
You're just a rock star. You're just holding the mic to yourself.
The whole stand just decided to fall off.
Oh,
It wouldn't be alive if we didn't have something happen, right?
right.
All right. Sadly, many of these children were abandoned to become wards of the state. While some patients could care for themselves, Many more suffered from severe disabilities. Those patients who couldn't care for themselves became the school's most vulnerable victims.
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow.
Look at all them.
That is so many.
Hitch up and toe. You see his comment.
What Christmas song do they play? Do you see what I see? Oh no.
I know. That's from Tommy's comment. I don't know if you saw that when he talked
Yeah.
about your mic. Despite the high number of patients requiring special care, the state provided the institution with meager funds. There were very few doctors, nurses, and orderlies available to meet the patient's needs. Many patients spent their days and nights trapped in mental cribs in horrid conditions, and others were so desperate for human contact that they went to great lengths for attention by injuring themselves or even smearing themselves with their own feces in hope of a bath.
Shaco.
Oh,
Shaco. What's the name that we don't mention on this channel? Shaco. Shaco, see, you were doing so good. We're doing so good.
he said,
But
"Give me time, give me time."
you did make me laugh. You did. Man.
Yeah.
Cruel punishments were common at the facility. Overworked staff responded to unruly patients by drugging them into submission or chaining them to their beds. Other residents were isolated for such long periods of time that they regressed and lost their will to speak, fight, or even live. Oh,
Mm. Oh, Rose, thank you for coming in. We appreciate seeing you. And Mildred, yeah.
I know you can, Shaco.
One particularly harsh rule chastised patients for biting. When a patient bit someone the first time, he or she was reprimanded. But if it happened again, the patient was sent to a dentist who would pull all of his teeth. Thousands of teeth were removed in a rusty dentist chair that still sits in the tunnels beneath the Pennhurst complex.
Thank you, Mildred.
Ah, thank you.
Chip and Toe said it was cleaner than his kid's bedroom.
That's just creepy.
What do you think that thing does?
That might be when they were pulling out their teeth. I don't know.
The shuttered institution. Not all of the residents were abandoned by their family members. When loved ones came to visit, they were appalled to find their children bruised and uncared for. Even in 1912, there were reports of the poor quality of treatment.
But it was quickly apparent that outsiders could do little to help, and patients continued to suffer from abuse or even death at the hands of staff and other patients. Society continued to turn a blind eye to the horrors of the state run institution.
That's a picture from today, isn't it? Like, not today, but like a recent photo.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know why they leave stuff like that. You know what I mean? It's
That's just
crazy to me.
asking for haunting.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Changes started brewing at Pennhurst in 1968 when Philadelphia television news reporter Bill Baldini produced an expose on the institution. Suffer the Little Children uncovered the atrocities and created a sympathetic public. I don't think I could be wrong. I know there's places, but they've been working on getting them shut down. Like Paris Hilton came out and talked about a place that her parents sent her to.
Oh yeah.
And then they reported like abuse and all these things going on there. But correct me if I'm wrong, everybody, but do you really hear about people sending their children off to live in these types of places anymore? Like I don't think these
Mm-mm.
things exist anymore, really, like permanent placement type. I guess rehabilitation centers, maybe.
Yeah. That's
Hmm.
probably what took the place of, you know?
Okay, Char of Heart. Thanks for stopping in.
Yeah, no worries. We appreciate you. This exposure led to a massive lawsuit, and in 1977, Pennhurst patients achieved a small victory when the school was found guilty of violating patients' constitutional rights. While this decision couldn't undo the past, it certainly made progress for the future.
So Gothica is from Australia,
Oh,
and they
wow.
said they still exist in Australia.
Oh, wow.
Tommy said they've all closed because of places like this. And Lynn's life is in here now. So hello, hello.
Oh, welcome in, Lynn.
Terry Lee Halderman had been a resident of Pennhurst.
Poor thing.
On May 30th, 1974, a class action lawsuit was filed on behalf of the current and former residents of Pennhurst Asylum. The lawsuit argued that patient rights were violated at Pennhurst and that those who caused their suffering should be held responsible. I agree.
Yeah. Terry Lee Haldeman had been a resident of Pennhurst, and following multiple episodes of abuse, she and her family filed suit in the federal district court. The suit started after Terry had visited her parents at home and was found to have unexplained bruises. Wow. Oh, BB, you're muted.
I always read Shacos before I put them on the screen. I had a
Okay.
babysitter in 81 who made sandwiches with bologna on white without mayo or butter. I sleep well knowing she is selling them at the Lake of Fire. Scary thought, but would you put your relatives in one? Absolutely not.
No, no.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Ivan is here.
Hi,
Lynn,
Ivan K. Thank you for coming in.
James, how have you been?
Wow. They look so thin.
And there's just naked boys standing there. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
there's
You see the picture where it's blurred? Yeah.
yeah, it's boys and girls, and they it's like some of them don't have. That's so weird to me.
Yeah.
Although the case was not expected to reach the level it did, the courts later found that conditions at Pennhurst were unsanitary, inhumane, and dangerous, violating the 14th Amendment, and the Pennhurst used cruel and unusual punishment in violation of the 8th and 14th Amendments, as well as the Pennsylvania Mental Health and Retardation Act of 1966, MH/MR.
Mm.
Who thinks they've changed the name of that act? You think that they've gone in and changed the wording on that?
Um,
I don't think
I
that word.
don't know. Yeah.
I don't think it's appropriate anymore. I'm wondering if they changed
Yeah.
the wording.
Hey guys, thank you for coming in.
Gothica said they call it other things now. 2 of my kids are staying together in one of them. My other bio kid is in another. You think they probably did, Rose? I think so
Mm-hmm.
too.
Mm.
Um, Gothica, are they staying in like an asylum, or is it more like a group home for children waiting to be placed somewhere? Um, Jen Joy, you would actually know a little bit about this because I think your son works for a teen home. Not to throw your business out there, but teen homes don't run like this, though, right? Where like lockdowns and overcrowding and all of that
Uh-huh.
stuff, right? It really is thrifty, Angela.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, shock treatment was why they didn't have the clothes on. Probably,
Oh.
probably. You're right. I didn't think about that, but
I
yeah,
didn't
cold,
either. Yeah. It
cold.
makes sense now. Now, Halderman argued that the hospital violated federal and state statutes that protected individuals with intellectual disabilities because residents were forced to live in dangerous and unsanitary conditions, were physically restrained, isolated, and unnecessarily medicated, lacked access to therapy or services, and were not properly supervised.
Um, I don't believe they're allowed to use the word anymore. It's a mean word. It is.
Yeah.
Um,
Hi, Des. Thank you for coming in, Des.
and that's why I was kind of wondering. I mean, it's the way that it was used here
Mm-hmm.
is it was the R law, blah, blah, blah. It was like actually stated as this is what the law is. So I wonder if they go back and they change that type
Mm-hmm.
of stuff. I just don't know much about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Mm. This is true, Hitch Up and Toe. I mean, we have done the bucket story with Hippie's
Yeah.
girlfriend.
Yes, we have.
They don't. They were banned. The RICO Act closed them down. Gotcha.
Mm.
That is just heartbreaking.
It is.
Yeah, one just staring at the ground, one over there just curled up, maybe a straight jacket on the top, another one just laying on the floor, no blanket, no pillow. Ugh. Is this one mine or yours? I don't remember.
It's yours.
Didn't take long for me to forget who was who. I think a lot of words depend on the context in which they are used. CR view, yes, I would
Mm-hmm.
agree. Halderman argued that the conditions at the hospital resulted in violations of equal protection, due process, and constituted cruel and unusual punishment. In 1977, the district court found that individuals with intellectual disabilities had the constitutionally protected right to non-discriminatory habilitation, education, training, and care, freedom from harm, and access to the least restrictive environment. I
Woo! You
nailed
did
all
it.
those words. I look at this, but I don't know the answer to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine that humans were put through this.
Exactly. It's just so sad seeing that took place, and of course, it wasn't just at this asylum. It happened throughout the board. After a 32-day trial, U.S. District Court Judge Raymond J. Broderick found that Pennhurst was indeed overcrowded. understaffed, and lacked the program needed to care for residents. He found that various forms of restraints were used as a result of the lack of staff, including seclusion rooms, physical restraints, and even psychotropic drugs.
I understand that, Gothica. I do. Privately, I'll have a conversation with you, and maybe you can give me, since I know a little more behind the scenes, maybe you can kind of explain it to me. Because in my mind, something like this still existing anywhere in the world breaks my heart. Like, I would hate to think that this type of thing is still happening. Now,
Yeah.
I know there are places called group homes here for kids that don't have foster care, that can't be immediately placed in foster care, or kids that are troubled and get themselves in a lot of trouble and they can't go into somebody's home, so they have places for older kids like that as well. Um, so it's called a group home versus an asylum, but they have a
Mhm.
lot more attention, doctors, therapies on staff, that kind of things. So it kind of resembles something like this. Um, Hitch Up and Toe said, "You're doing well. You're doing well tonight, baby." All
Mhm.
right. Yeah, thank you, Ardez, for being here with us.
Yes. The environment of the building was found to be hazardous to the extent that it was not only not conducive to learning new skills, but it is so poor that it contributes to losing skills already learned. The residents were also found to have been abused by the residents and staff. That's a shame.
Um, and Rose, you are correct.
Yeah.
Like this and worse happens in
Hmm.
private homes.
Hmm.
Um, and it's terrifying to think that.
Oh, yeah.
I just can't imagine. I can't imagine, no matter how bad my child was acting up, putting them in a place like this and walking away from them. I just it's mind-blowing to me that that would ever have been
Hmm.
even an option. But again, back in the day, they didn't have the knowledge that we have now about all the different things. I don't know. The reporters who first broke the story about Pennhurst were completely horrified by the conditions. Bill Baldini, the young reporter who headed the story, said, "We started shooting and my crew was mortified. I mean, I had trouble keeping them on the job because they were literally getting sick from what they saw."
Wow.
Right, Angela?
Yeah. Yeah. I can only imagine just what we're seeing, just a little glimpse of these photos on what he's saying that they saw. You know, that sticks with you. You can get traumatized,
Mhm.
excuse me, over that. That's just,
And Jen Joy, I seen your comments about I worked at the
mhm.
residential for 20 years and no, it's not like this. And then can you see my comment? So if you put anything in between that, then no, I didn't see it. Gothica, that I understand. I understand there are going to be circumstances.
Mhm.
But back then, these type of facilities, it seemed like as soon as a seizure, bad teeth, something a little bit health-wise overwhelming happened, parents jumped to putting them in places like these. Like a child with ADHD would have ended up in a place like this. Um, so it seems like back then, any type of issue, parents didn't try to work with that. They were just like, ooh, hide that child from the world. I just appreciate you being here for any amount of time. Ardez, I love you and I'm sending my hugs your way. My 100-year-old aunt has her special needs twin boys living with her. Yeah. Wow, that's even after all these. Oh, that brought a tear to my eye. Oh, that's a mother's love right there. 100 years, 100-year-old, and she's still taking care of him. Oh,
Wow. Wow.
wow.
Mm.
12-year-old girl was caged, starved, fridge chained up, but cabinets locked here in her town several years ago, and that is
Mm.
horrifying. Have you all heard of that family? I think we did a story on them probably right before we took our break. I forget how many kids there were, but one of them ended up escaping and they had been locked in
Yeah.
cages. Do you remember that story?
Yeah.
And then the update on them was that they had gone to foster care, and the next set of foster care parents did the same thing. Ugh,
Yeah.
these were kids that were already broken. Why didn't they make sure that they went to a loving home?
I want to say there was at least five. There's quite a few kids.
Yeah, I wanted to say there was closer to 10. There was
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
large amount of them,
Mhm.
but they looked like they were toddlers and they were actually like 10 and 12 years old. I mean, they were
Yeah.
malnourished. It was terrible.
We appreciate you shouting us out. Thank you for coming in, Susanna. We got Captain Jack in the house. Oh, did it go by? Did we read that last one that just went by? Oh, okay. Think of a ward of infants and children from the age of 6 months to 5 years old. Baldini recalls. There are 80 of them in metal cages. They had to attend to them every day, all day. These people were literally lying, excuse me, in their own feces for days. Oh, you're muted, BB.
It might be the same family, Rose, I think that we're talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
The dad had like the Dumb and Dumber haircut. That's the only way I can describe it. The dad literally had the same haircut as the guy off Dumb and Dumber.
yeah.
And then the they kept the kids in cages. They had like
And they looked like kids, but some of them were young adults.
yeah. People with disabilities have rights too, 100%.
Yeah.
You can't hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Captain? Captain, oh Captain.
Mm.
His 5-part series aired on local television in Philadelphia in 1968. The reports showed images of naked, emancipated residents swaying back and forth to their own internal rhythms or curled up in balls. The children were tied to their beds, and to this day, Baldini cannot forget. All that gorgeous architecture and all that going inside those walls. Never judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, exactly.
Very true.
Yeah.
Thrifty Angela, have a great night. Thank you so much for stopping
Yes.
in.
Yep. He can hear you now, lass. Jim Conroy, a medical sociologist, arrived at Pennhurst a couple of years later to research the developmental disabilities. I drove up in 1970 in my dad's blue Chevy, and I saw a place where 3,700 people in it that was built for far, far fewer. I think they were talking about like 500, wasn't it, when they first built it?
Mm-hmm.
Man,
I mean, look at that room. They're just
they're just all
jammed in
piled
there.
up. Yeah.
And I saw things that I will never forget, Conroy says. Both Baldini and Conroy say the site should become a memorial to the past, not a haunted house. Back in the day, they had no idea how to care for someone who had disabilities. True.
Yeah. Yeah.
Animals that get confined to small cages go into that rocking motion. Yes. I am sure that any mental or physical disability these people had was made 1,000 times worse by the treatment that they received.
Yeah. Look at that place. You
Again,
never know that was happening in there.
yeah, it looks absolutely incredible. It has a cross on the top of the building. Like
Yeah.
you just wouldn't think. And this is correct. It doesn't matter how nice the place looks or how much it costs to stay there or how polite staff is, it can still be a nightmare.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. This abusive and negative energy left an imprint on Pennhurst and the land it sits on. And this is evident by the staggering amount of hauntings that are now reported today.
The hauntings. Dun dun dun.
Thank you for sharing this out, Des. We appreciate it.
Today, the building has bore witness to more than a few ghosts, hunting crews, searching for answers, and to communicate with the patients who never left the walls of the asylum. The sprawling network of buildings and tunnels were left abandoned, and tortured spirits grew restless within the confines of Pennhurst.
I can imagine. Staff and caretakers of the property say that the buildings, as well as an underground tunnel network, are severely haunted by the spirits of the patients who suffered and died there. Reports of slamming doors, disembodied footsteps and voices, sounds of vomiting, and children are heard from seemingly empty rooms.
I'm sorry, but children ghosts scare me more than anything. I don't know why, but like if I see a child ghost, just
Uh,
count me out. I'm passing out. You guys are gonna have to carry me out of there. Like it's over.
and Rose, thank you for sharing us out on Facebook too. We appreciate it. That's
Now,
just, oh, that bed.
um, my friend Oki and I, we went to St. Charles, Missouri, Old Town St. Charles, and they did like a ghost tour on the streets. It really was more just the history. They like kind of told us the history of the place.
Uh huh.
But I used that ghost thingy again that does the kind of
Oh,
like
yeah, the stick figure.
the stick figure thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so I was standing there and I had the camera pointing at the ground just because
yeah.
I was standing there. And all of a sudden I was seeing stick figures on the ground. I was like, this is weird. And so I'm standing there and I'm just listening. And all of a sudden the guy tells us that this is where a bunch of bodies were buried. And I'm like, no wonder I'm seeing
No.
them on the ground.
Oh my goodness. No.
Freaky. Kids scare the shit out of me anyway.
Hitch up and toe.
When facilities get paid by the state per resident, it creates an incentive for overcrowding and mistreatment.
Yeah.
You know what's really scary about that statement right there is that's what schools are doing now. Schools are getting paid per student per day that they're there, and it is creating the same kind of mess.
Wow.
Gothica, I would love to hear about that sometime.
Hmm.
They could have filmed that game there that you and Jen played, Murder Mystery. This is
Oh,
true.
yeah.
I'm sensitive to places that have spirits, etc. Me too, Rose. Me
Hmm.
too.
Some witnesses have even reported the apparition of a little girl roaming around the campus. looking perplexed and a bit lost. The sound of children playing and crying is also a common occurrence.
No, so not only are we going to hear them playing, we're going to hear them crying,
Yeah,
and we're going to be like wanting to comfort them. And a lot of the time, they say that the darker stuff pretends to be kids. So I'm
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Sorry, I love kids, just not ghost kids. I'm good.
Mm.
I'm sorry for everything that you've gone through. I really am.
Yeah.
Most of the spirits at Pennhurst are believed to be friendly, just looking for to communicate someone living to communicate with, to tell their story. Reports of satanic worship have come from the property.
Well, then they all can't be friendly then.
If people are worshiping the devil over there,
I
please
know.
friendly.
Yeah. Pennhurst Asylum today. A site of otherworldly urban decay, the asylum sits stagnant with twisting vines and roots weaving in and out of the buildings. And it almost seems as if nature is trying to reclaim these stones to destroy the unnatural happenings that took place here.
Katie, are you still in here? Inside these tombs are hallways filled with old laundry totes, saged with molded clothes and linens, layers of graffiti, rusted wheelchairs, and rain sneaking in. Mhm. Um, Katie, could you grab the link to the Hive Helpers thing for me so I can talk about that at the end? Please and thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, see, why
Yeah.
they why are they leaving that behind? Why? Why is that still there?
And you know they move around on their own. See that all the time. Mm.
Can you imagine you're at one end of the hallway, that's at the other end,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you hear the squeaky wheel start turning?
Oh no.
You're on the second floor. You're on the second floor. Do you jump out the window or do you run down the stairs? Which one are you doing, guys? I wanna know.
And Alan's putting the emojis like, oh, like no.
Uh,
Oh my. Wide eyed.
the spirits will stay on the land, I do believe, even if the earth grows up around the
Yeah.
building. How can you love kids? I've had a couple myself. It really puts you off.
Mark.
Linda said, "It's just the ambiance." Uh, I'm running up the stairs. Shackle said he's running up the stairs. Hello, mother. No.
Uh, that's funny. Raw. Negative emotions filled the halls of Pennhurst years ago. And most of that heaviness hasn't left. It's ingrained in the walls, the floors, and the ceilings. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna be lucky if my legs move, so you just find me falling over somewhere. Yeah, from the movie Psycho.
Yeah.
The facility closed its doors in 1987, and the network of buildings was neglected and left to the tortured, sad spirits. Today, caretakers of the property believe that the buildings and underground tunnels are haunted by the angry spirits of patients who suffered and passed away here. I'd hitch a ride. Are you hitching a ride with Hitch Up and Co? Are the two of you going together? Oh, wait, are you gonna hop on? Wait, no. Are you hopping in the wheelchair and getting a ride? Is
Oh, I
is
hope he
that what
doesn't
you're
mean
saying?
that.
Um, in the end, Katie, I'll talk about it when we finish up here. Thank you.
Mhm. No, no. And he said yes.
He's talking about riding in that wheelchair. You are a brave man. You're just gonna sit, hope that it's a girl, sit down on her lap and be like, "Hey, baby, nice to meet you." Sure
Uh,
does. I would sit there and try to talk to whoever moved the wheelchair. Y'all are
oh
brave.
no, Rhonda.
Y'all are brave.
Yeah.
I see something that clear, I'm out.
Yeah, you wouldn't even see me. Well, you'll see a streak of my white hair. That's all you'll see. He'll be flying in the wind. No. Today, Pennhurst sits as a partial haunted attraction, part memorial to the dead, and it is hope that we do not forget what happened here, as it is necessary to remember the mistakes of the past to prevent them from happening in the future.
Haunted house has painful past as asylum. A former institution for the mentally and physically disabled, located outside Philadelphia, is the site of a new Halloween attraction. Oh
Oh,
yeah, let's just turn it into a Halloween attraction and
yeah,
really offend the spirits.
yeah.
The wheelchair is for the overdrugged, probably. If I hadn't heard screaming before, I would now. This sure remind me of that game. It is a lot like the game we were
Uh-huh.
playing for sure. A ghost once said to me, "Boo."
Boo.
It wouldn't be me, would it?
The sprawling Pennhurst State School and Hospital was shut down in 1987 after years of chronic overcrowding and patient abuse. Now, a businessman has turned the property into a haunted house. The move has upset people who say it trivializes the suffering of those who live there.
I agree, and I think it would piss off the spirits too, because you're
I
making
don't
it
think
into a
so.
haunted house when a lot of people think it should have been a memorial for the people that went through all that pain there.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
then again, like, I wonder if the spirits that are stuck there are like, it's kind of fun to scare people. Like, it gives them something kind of fun to
Oh,
do.
yeah, maybe, they're trying to reach out to begin with. So maybe this is, in a way,
Like, I'm
making them
telling
feel they're
you,
reaching out. Don't touch me.
if I come back as a spirit, y'all better watch out because I'm going to have a blast scaring people. Like, that is going to be an all time thing.
Yeah. Oh, look at that.
Looking more and more like the game, Captain. I agree.
A
A
thrilling
thrilling
experience.
experience.
Yeah.
On a Friday night, dozens of people wound their way up to the entrance of Pennhurst former administrative building and pay up to $50 to
Wow.
enter.
Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. BB. Ah, she's back.
Yeah.
That's disgraceful. And yes, I also
Yeah.
believe it would torment them further. I do think it would torment them further, but also there might be a few that enjoy it.
First, the visitors enter a museum featuring the photos and information about the institution. Then they enter the haunted house, which is filled with gruesome props, bloody dental patients, and parts of the original morgue.
No,
You
no,
know that story about the morgue, BB. You
yeah,
know,
we don't play in morgues. Morgues are bad news.
no.
Stay out of the morgue in
Yeah.
any building. The last walk is through the underground tunnel system that used to connect the buildings. Screams filled the seemingly endless stretch of utter darkness.
And they said that was the most haunted area were the tunnels.
I am betting, just betting, that a lot of nefarious stuff happened in those tunnels because if you were a patient
Yeah.
or a worker that was wanting to do something bad, you would go to the place that nobody really wanted to go to, which would be the tunnels, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm sure a lot of bad things happened down there.
Look at them waiting in line.
Katie said you couldn't pay me to go there.
No.
Any building, you can pay me to go there. Any building that has underground tunnels is spooky.
Oh yeah.
Are we summoning BB? That'll be fun. Why is the Ouija board drawing a peen? The Ouija board starts drawing weenies. Like it's BB. She's back. Grab the flashlight batteries on the shelf of the morgue. Yes, Captain. The game. I was
Oh
just
wow,
drawing.
Sean Shank. Oh
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, I do want to visit places. Now that I am a little more capable of getting up and getting around, I want to go
Yeah.
to.
No, not me, BB. Visitors emerged to the sounds of local heavy metal bands. Scott Cowler, 19, he drove up from Delaware with his friends. He says Pennhurst was known to be scary before ever was a haunted house. Yeah, yeah. I
We're
can't do
gonna we're gonna have to tell everybody about your doll that I've been babysitting
Oh, yeah.
at the end of this.
What Mal did? Is that what you're talking about? That
Yeah.
part? Oh, my goodness.
And then I'll tell you what I did to my son with that same doll.
Yeah.
A lot of people believe the spirits of people who have suffered and died in this institution are still in here. A lot of people feel that way. I mean, that definitely adds to the thrill of it. Clower says,
Yeah. Hmm.
nope, I'll stay in Delaware. Thank you. Katie, if you ever come, you got to stay with the babies.
It's up until.
I love that doll. Is TikTok the adult version of YouTube? Because you seem to have. So we do Pictionary. We play Pictionary over on TikTok. And for some reason, I don't know why, my castles seem to look like weenies. Quite a few things that I draw end up looking like weenies. I don't know why. They might even
you,
have like
you
greenery.
don't draw any
Bushes.
horses, I hope. You don't do
No,
anything with horses. Okay.
no. I mean, we do have somebody over there named Red Rocket, but you know.
Rose says, I love that doll. Because I shared the picture of the doll.
Uh,
Look at
yeah,
that. That's just creepy. Oh,
that is the haunted house actors, and that is
yeah.
crazy.
Wow. His friend, I can't say that. Silly? Salsi? Oh,
Cecile,
how do you say it?
Cecily?
Cecily? Okay.
I don't know.
Connell says the experience was awesome. But if the haunted house had been in one of the buildings where the residents actually lived, then she would probably have not gone in.
Auntie Marmar does a lot of spooky makeup and stuff. She loves that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You're not in the actual area where it all went down. I think that's a little bit sadder and should be left like that. Oh, okay. So they are kind of respecting certain areas of the place.
Yeah, I think except for the tunnels, because of course they said that was pretty active there. But
Yeah, but I mean, they're not really doing it in the bedrooms or,
yeah,
certain places that would be disrespectful.
good business, proper memorial. The businessman behind the venture is Richard Chokjan. He says when he bought the 110-acre property 2 years ago, it was in ruins. He now runs a local recycle business and hopes to make the haunted house a yearly Halloween event. Yeah.
Tucker said, I'll sit this one out. Y'all have fun exploring. Um, I thought, oh, here he is. Who's going to hold my hand? I don't do scary places. We went well out of our way to make sure that this event doesn't mock or mimic any of the handicapped. And I'm not even going to try to say the name.
I know.
And I believe that the public that comes through here know the distinction and the difference between making fun of something and a Halloween event.
So these are, they're not disrespecting.
Yeah.
Well, according to Shakyan, at least 17,000 people have come since the haunted house opened in late September, and he says the attraction is contributing to the local economy.
Joe said, I pulled up to a creepy looking place in Virginia while selling meat door to door. Looked at my partner and said, nope, F this. I've seen those too.
Right? I don't think so.
The horses, the horses.
She remembers.
A horse is a horse, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Still, his critics say there is nothing amusing about a haunted house at Pennhurst. A local preservation society is planning to protest at the site. Advocates say those who suffered at Pennhurst deserve a better memorial.
Mm.
I think that's the end.
Yep.
So
do you happen to have Drusilla behind you? Oh, your mic went off again, but you got to put it down anyway. That is my baby girl, Drusilla.
now, this doll never did anything, minded her business, behaved herself, no problems whatsoever. Then Nettie comes over and for the first time ever gets to meet her doll.
Yeah.
Well, let's be honest, Nettie's not real interested in having a spooky doll on the bus with her.
Yeah, she don't want to travel. She wants to stay with her Aunt Bibi.
So I've been babysitting her, and this was Nettie's first time meeting her baby. And at the time, my son lived in the basement with the doll. The doll was down here. So I came down, I got the doll, I took it upstairs. Nettie was visiting. She's holding the doll, and Mel grabs the doll's hair.
Mel grabs her by her hair.
Grabs her by her hair. Nettie's phone is sitting over on a table, nowhere near Nettie. And all of a sudden, the phone goes off in a foreign language.
We don't know what it said. We didn't understand it. But my phone started talking while Mel was holding Drusilla by her hair.
The look, I happened to be taking pictures at the time because they wanted pictures with the baby. And so I was taking a picture of them with the baby when this happened. And the look on Mel's face,
Right?
priceless.
Like,
yeah. If they had not already decided that they didn't want this doll in the bus with them, they decided at that moment they were done.
yeah, we watched yours.
And then it gets even funnier. So because I was showing them the doll, I had gone downstairs when my son wasn't home and I brought the doll upstairs. My son comes running up that night, comes in my room. Mom, where's the doll? Where's the doll? What did you do with the doll? So I didn't do anything with the doll. What doll? What are you talking about? Mom, don't mess with me. The doll is not there. And I was like, I don't know, son. And I just kind of played it off that I didn't know where the doll was. And he's like, Mom, if that doll is running around in my bedroom and I wake up and see it, can you imagine this in the middle of the night running around on the floor? So I I didn't reassure him that night. I let him be scared. The next day while he was at work, I went and put the doll back and he come running upstairs when he got home from work and he says, "She's back. She's back. Where did she come from? Please stop messing with me and tell me where the doll came from." So
That
I
is
finally
hilarious.
confessed. I finally confessed and told him that it was me that put the doll there. However, I have to say that I've never had anything go wrong. The doll is from Hippie. He got me this one. There's another one, and then there's a baby over there. Now, I've never had anything happen with these dolls except for the situation with Nettie. That's the only thing I ever had happen. Now,
Yeah.
another friend of mine gave me some very old antique dolls. I do not know the history of them. I just know that they're very old, and I'm going to show you them now.
Look at all of them. They're watching the show.
They are pretty big. Okay, guys. So I get these dolls and I put them in their chair and I put them there and I go live. And my live stream is messing up. People can't see it. They're having trouble watching it. It's a whole mess. And I'm like, And then somebody says, I think it's the dolls. I'm like, it ain't the dolls. It's not the dolls. Whatever. That night I'm upstairs and my dog stands up, hair all the way up the back of his neck,
No.
barking like he's ready to tear somebody a new one. And there's nothing in the house. No noise, no knock, nobody moved. He got spooked. And so at that point I thought, maybe the dolls are up to no good.
Well, maybe they just broke your mic stand.
It's not working.
It's not
So
working.
they could have a little bit. These guys all back here could have a little bit of a haunting. His foot is broken. So if this guy starts walking around, he's going to be like limping. That's going to be terrifying.
Oh my.
But that's the doll story. And so Nettie has decided that this lives with me now and she will
Yeah.
visit when she comes to town. But
I
they
will come and
also,
visit it, but it stays there.
I don't know that Mel will be petting it anymore though.
No, Mel won't be petting it.
I did want to make an announcement really quick, just in case anybody wanted to help with this. I am doing something November through December, which is every weekend I'm going to go out and feed the less fortunate. I'm going to do it live on TikTok. I can do it live over here as well if you guys are interested. But I have a link where you can go to Amazon and anything that you want to purchase off there, it gets sent directly to me. And it's all the stuff that I'm putting in the bags to feed people. My hope is to feed once a weekend, if not twice. And then also give them, like, I have hand warmers. Somebody's already sent those. Baby wipes, just the things to kind of help them when they don't have anything. So Katie has dropped a link for that in the chat. I have a very specific area where there is a lot of people in need right now. And I'll be going there delivering everything live as well. So Katie's gone ahead and dropped that in the chat. If anybody wants to check it out and send any of the items on there, it would be greatly appreciated. But I'll be doing that November through December because I think those are the two hardest months. And then if I can, I'll continue it on into January.
I want to drop that also on our site, BB. So I went and grabbed it because you have it in your about page, right, of your live stream.
No, I think
the same one.
It's not. It's the one that Katie just dropped in the chat.
Let me see. Let me click on it. Let me click on that link. Okay.
Because one of them just takes you to like the Amazon storefront, and then the other one will take you directly. It's called a Hive Helpers.
Oh yeah.
So one will take you directly to that. Bye, Hitch Up and Toe. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for coming in. We appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that.
Oh yeah, Captain.
It's called the Hive Help. Is that how you name?
Hive Helpers. Yes.
Hive Helpers.
And it's just there if anybody wants to. It's not necessary or anything like that. I just know that a lot of people like to help out with those kind of things. So I just wanted to throw it out there. And then we're going to be back every Sunday moving forward, unless it
Yes.
falls on a holiday. Then, you guys have to give us a break. But we're going to be back every Sunday, 5 p.m. Central Standard Time with new stories.
Yes, we appreciate all you coming in and seeing us again. It's been a long time. We're so excited to bring the show back. And like BB said, we're excited to do our Sundays together. Called it Sunday Fun Day. So
Sunday
thank
Fun
you guys
Day.
so much for coming in.
Yeah. And I promise next time I'll have the mic where it holds itself, and I'll get back in the groove of things. I
I think
promise.
you need little tiny mics to give to your dolls so they'll leave your mic alone.
Maybe. Could you imagine if I put little mics on them and
I
all of a
know.
sudden we start hearing whispers?
Yeah.
Y'all.
Oh, no.
I wish spirits were constructive rather than the opposite. I'd be like, my place must be haunted because
Mhm.
look, my toaster works. That's funny. It was great. It
Oh,
was
thank you,
really,
Linda. Mhm.
honestly, guys, it was so great to see everybody again. And maybe sometime I'll do a story time or an update. I know Shakatan was asking on an update of why I disappeared and what happened, but I'm going to be a grandma next
Oh,
month.
congratulations.
Yeah, next month I'm going to be a grandma. We're going to have a new baby in the family. So it's just been kind of a crazy time, but I'll get an update out to you guys soon. And again, thank you so much for joining us.
Mhm.
Wishing you all much kindness and much love.
And we're sending love your way. Have a great Sunday, y'all.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.